Let's discuss men going their own way and how it seems like there are hardly any good women left in the world. How do you find and define a good woman, though? I believe that both men and women have a specific place in each other's lives and that we are all here to live our natural purpose, followed by our personal purpose, if we take into account all of history, all of the movements, changes in society, in culture, and how gender roles have changed over the years. I say this in all honesty and without any sort of bias against any gender. What I mean is that, despite everything else, the universe is designed for our inherent purpose. This goal for men is to go out into the world, struggle, hunt, get eaten or beaten, survive, battle, and protect, and at the end of the day, bring resources and food to his family, including his wife and children. Similar to this, a woman's inherent role is to conceive, give birth, and care for her offspring, despite the fact that many modern women may not wish to accept this. Creating life is their inherent purpose in the earth. Their goal is to make their families feel comfortable and happy. So, from a male perspective, the real query is, are there any nice women left in Western civilization with whom this may happen? From a male perspective, courting, marrying, bonding with women, having children, and ultimately building families where the children are strong and their future is safe. In this circumstance, that is what we mean when we talk about a good woman. They must be biologically capable of doing that, right? They were, at least, in the past. The process of making males more feminine in Western civilization is reasonably predictable, but the process of making women more masculine is less obvious. We are aware that strong men create civilizations, and that as such civilizations advance, men's power diminishes. To make them more civilized and in line with the group's goals, society feminizes them. And once it gets to the point where women and lesser men can run the civilization's engine, the alpha males who originally developed the engine will be obsolete. They would then become isolated from society. Their characteristics would be discouraged as being oppressive and improper in a society that values civility. If a man had 100 points less testosterone, you can comprehend who he is and how he would behave, but what about a woman who has 100 points more testosterone or less estrogen? I don't want to oversimplify the equation, but I think it has a lot of real-world uses. You can possibly grasp what we're looking at by doing so. To provide women the place that men formerly held in society, men have been purposefully feminized, and women have been purposefully masculinized. We're looking at women's unrestrained promiscuity. At the most recent royal wedding, the phrases to honor and obey were taken out of the wedding vows, correct? Wouldn't it be good to have a woman that won't respect you and won't obey your demands? Not because they ought to follow your orders, but rather because they find all forms of behavior control to be oppressive. I'm being sarcastic, just so you know. This behavior is not simply limited to women, it is also done by men. Any limitation or restriction on their behavior based on objective fact is viewed as oppression, a byproduct of patriarchy, and should be eliminated. Everyone has an opinion, thus, it would be similar to giving a child whatever they want, letting them run the show, and not holding them or their acts or conduct responsible. It changes someone with little substance and character into someone who constantly picks on people and makes their lives difficult. The rise of MGTOW has a lot to do with how the dynamics of relationships between men and women have changed over the years. Women no longer stand for their word or for dignity. They make sure they are available to every man who offers them something else, and they don't appreciate what men do for them on a daily basis. Men started going their own way when they started to realize this chasm in our social structure that allowed women to be other than they were supposed to be, while men were made to become manual labor and labor away their lives for the benefit of women. We see this happening all around us now. In relationships where the women get everything from a divorce, while the guy is left penniless and without his life savings. We see this supported by the justice system that grants additional benefits to women just so they can live their lives to the fullest. We see this happening throughout the Western civilization and across the continents in most other countries as well. The rise of MGTOW can then primarily be associated with a lack of good women who are not aligned with a woman's natural purpose. Women don't provide anything worthwhile. They fail to fulfill their role or fulfill their end of the bargain. In fact, it is considered to be oppressive to even suggest that they have duties or a role. So proceed. Enjoy the rest of your life as an amorphous blob. I mean that they figuratively take on the size of their mental condition. They deliberately neglect their own upkeep as a result, but later they lose sight of the aim. Similar to someone who is aggressive and is trapped in an abusive relationship, as a result, they eat excessively and take pleasure in doing so. In the end, they just become accustomed to what we consume in relation to any emotional issue. They just overeat, forgetting that they were doing it because behind it all, one of their parents was alcoholic. They are now in bad shape and have a dreadful outlook on life. Therefore, it is not the proper course of action, yet you can see how this problem occurs every time someone fails or has a huge problem. When someone doesn't achieve the outcomes they desire in life, they may react in one of these two ways. When they encounter these issues, the system that was created by powerful men now automatically handles it for them. As a result of their failure and weakness, the system is adjusting to them. It's a dysfunctional system. So, in this day and age, would you even want to date a lady as she is? How will you proceed? Create slaves for the state that loathe you as a man, demand your sacrifice without any kind of compensation, and solely employ punishment as a form of control? It's similar to a dog having a terrible master. This is what men have to face. So, no, there are no longer any nice women since they are unable to serve the purpose that men want of them. They truly want to compete with males, which is impossible for women to do. You can only compete with males because they let you, which is the only reason because they wish to protect you from harm. There is no such thing as male and female competition. The man doesn't want to win because he doesn't want to defeat the woman. He truly wants to assist her. But the woman really does want to ruin the man. Boys are raised to revere women and are naturally inclined to do so, but they are generally unaware of this. In other words, it's like entering a boxing battle with someone who can't hit or take a hit. Simply said, the concept of rivalry between a guy and a woman is that you're naturally programmed not to hit, but to let them strike you. There are cases of males oppressing and abusing women, which is true. However, it is not the topic at hand. You are aware that there are specific cases of this sort of oppression. Aberrations inside the system and an unfairness that is ingrained in the system are quite different things. It is outrageous to weight the system in favor of equality of result. If you don't solve your life's difficulties, you will inevitably succumb to the issues that you neglected to solve. Nobody is treating you unfairly. That is how people live. The fact that you can lose your health if you don't take care of it is not unfair. It is not unjust. I hope you understand how guys are socialized to make sacrifices, adore women, and want to belong to groups they are not a member of. They're leading to start happy families, pass on beneficial customs and beliefs, and uphold moral principles. That is virtue, indeed. They work well in the realm of reality as it is. Males do not believe that there are any nice women left in Western civilization because of the unbalanced dynamics between the sexes and the relationship society has with them. That is the current situation. Who can predict how things will turn out in the future? Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.